Good morning and welcome to this session of Aviation Customer Service for the BBA Aviation semester second student. Let me wait for 1 or 2 more minutes so that your other friend can join. Then we commence today's session. And today we are going to discuss a case study on the use of digital and social media in aviation industry. In the concluding lecture of our unit number 3 for the maximization in communication in aviation industry. So let me wait for a few minutes, then we'll commence today's session. So this is a application part. How this how we can maximize our communication in aviation industry. And in the entire series of Unit 3, we have studied I am revising what we have learned till now, so that you can understand today's case study in a real sense. How this application of this all the techniques and tools and technique we have studied in our unit number 3 on maximizing the communication. In the first lesson number 17, we have studied the use of social media and online services, Air Seva portal. That was the first Government of India mobile application we have discussed in lesson number 17 of this unit number 3. This was the first lesson in this unit, and we have studied about the Air Seva web portal. Then come to the second lecture in the series of maximizing communication in aviation industry. That was lesson number 18. In this lesson, we have studied the use of social media and online service and their benefits in aviation industry, airlines industry, and we have studied about the Facebook, about the Flickr, about the lastly we have also Flickr and then YouTube. All such application of social media to digital media tool we have discussed in the second lecture of our series of our unit number 3 in maximizing communication in aviation industry. Twitter also we have studied. So today we'll see that this application part, how they are going, how it is applied in aviation industry. Then in the third lecture of unit 3, we have discussed the feedback, managing the feedback in interaction. So STAR approach we have discussed in this lesson. About lesson number 19, we have discussed about the maximizing communication by use of star approach and how feedback is important, interaction is important in aviation industry. And continuing in this series of maximizing communication unit 3, another lesson number 20, we have discussed the managing the feedback and interaction, its importance. We have studied in lesson number 20 of unit number 3 of maximizing communication. Then we have also discussed about cross-cultural communication in this unit in two parts. Along with a video on the cross-cultural communication. So two lecture we have had. It was held in respect of cross-cultural communication, and this was the important aspect of. I have also discussed how to improve your cross-cultural communication. I have shared some tips about this. So this entire lesson, entire unit was particularly belongs to maximizing communication and use of various mediums. So now today we are going to discuss its application parts in aviation industry, how this application is being can be seen in a case study. So today I am sharing a nice video on in aviation industry for in particularly digital use of digital and social media in which actual application in European aviation industry. So that I having the one good video for you. So today I will share that video in our case study session today. So let's wait for a moment. Let me take your one more attendance. Then we'll proceed towards the case study video.
And a really, really big presence. So we have indeed over, by now, even 300 service agents, 130,000 mentions per week, and 30,000 service cases per week. And social media for us is a fantastic way to be ever more personal. But we can only do that today with the use of technology and by using artificial intelligence and bots specifically. So what I will talk to you about today is that for some things, we really cannot replace those with bots and AI. But for other things, we really need it, and we would be stupid to not use it. So, what I will talk to you about today. Well, first of all, for KLM, everything is about giving customers this warm personal feel, and I will explain to you why this is so important. I'll explain to you what it means to us, because when we talk about social media, we always say we want to be where our customers are. I will talk to you about what that means to us. And I will talk to you about why the conversation is so extremely important on social media and how we do that throughout our entire customer journey. And to do that, let's go a little bit back into history. So KLM is the oldest airline operating under its original name. We've been around as KLM for almost a century. And like many airlines, this means to us that we have some old rules and regulations in place, some legacy systems. And being an airline, it also means that we have many processes and procedures that we have to work with. But also, pioneering and the innovation is in our DNA, and it's really at the core of what we do. And social media for us has been the key to do that. Also, social media is extremely important because it allows us to give our customers this warm, personal feel. And this warm, personal feel is really at the core of everything that we do. And it's been like that for almost a century now. And if we look at our strategy, this is our strategy that's been like this since we started on social media. And that consists of 3 pillars: service, brand, and commerce. Because we believe that if a customer asks us a question on Facebook or now WhatsApp, we should be able to answer it and give him the best possible service. Doing so, we build up trust. Then we also want to make sure that customers come back to us. So we really focus on brand, create great content that makes it worthwhile following us. And if we do those two really well, we're able to make money out of social media. So that's why we added the third pillar, commerce. Next to that, we added a layer underneath, and I'm going to explain to you what this means. It's what we call it social development and automation. And we are now in the process of automating parts of the conversation with our customer. And we are bringing .com functionalities to social. Because we believe that investing in this technology, we are able to continue to be a front runner on social. And this is so extremely important because if we look at giving customers this one personal feel, and if we say that is at the core of what we do, we really have to acknowledge that times have changed. So in the past, we had, well, almost as many employees as customers, and we could really give, it was really easy to give this personal feel to our customers. Today, we have 32 million passengers per year, and we have these machines at the airport. So then how are we personal in this age of digital? At the same time, what we see happening is that people are moving to mobile and messaging specifically. So the average consumer, and I think we can all relate to this, uses 5 to 6 apps per day. And those are the social apps: WhatsApp, Messenger, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. If we look at KLM, 60% of all our traffic comes from mobile devices. So then you would say we build a great app and we can, service our customers the best. However, on average, people fly with us 1.1 up to 1.4 times per year. So how likely are we to reach out with our app to all our customers? We might have a really big problem here. On top of that, we see that new interfaces are coming up, such as voice-driven interfaces. Here, the big question is, looking at Google Assistant and Amazon Alexa, will airlines become just a logo and a price and a schedule if you ask for the cheapest flight to Berlin? How are you to be found on these types of interfaces? So what I will focus on today is not so much social media in the traditional way, like Facebook and Twitter, but the new social media, social messaging. So on Facebook and Twitter, it's really your public brand conversation. On messaging, it's the one-on-one personal conversation that you have with your customers. And to us, if we look at messaging, we often look at WeChat. The Chinese customers really take it one step further. Because in China, the game of advertisement has changed tremendously already. 50% of the consumers there have ad blockers installed. So then how are you to be found on a platform like WeChat? Email is fully replaced by messaging, and social is integrated into every aspect of daily life. So this means that interaction between brands has to become even more personal and even more efficient. And to us, McDonald's is a really great example, because if you look at McDonald's in Europe, they might have a screen in place where you can place your order for your menu. But if you look at McDonald's in China, everything has become fully automated already. So you order your menu on WeChat, you pay through WeChat Pay. You might enter the McDonald's restaurant and you see your profile picture on a screen, signaling that you can pick up your menu, and you're done. So the big question is, aren't we lagging behind? So what we say, people are really longing for that grocery store feeling. So make it small, personal, and intimate again. And it is something that we have seen for quite some time at KLM on social media. So this is a graph of our social media volume since we started measuring, I have to say, March 2011 until end of last year. And what you see happening is that since we added messaging platforms, we have seen a year-over-year double-digit growth in our volumes, meaning that customers really shift their conversations to private channels. So if we want to go back to that grocery store feeling, we really need to have technology in place to be able to do that. So technology today has been really around automating lots of stuff, but we've also created a lot of silos. We've created a lot of processes and rules. So for us, it means that on our website, we have a separate page where you can file your complaints. that's not personal at all. So if something has gone wrong, you want to be able to say, hey, we're really sorry. We're going to make it up to you straight away. And that to us is that grocery store feeling. So we need to be able to do that, but with the help of technology. And if we look at the digital ecosystem today, has become actually way more complex. So the challenge to give that grocery store feeling to be so personal, that is actually by reaching out to the platforms of the large tech giants. So we visualize it as such. So if you look at KLM, and we put ourselves in the center of the galaxy, and we would get in a yearly audience of around 140 million. So visitors, customers, questions from potential customers, etc. But if you look at the monthly active users on large platforms like Facebook, Google Flights, WeChat, Snapchat, TripAdvisor, it's really within the hundreds of millions. So if we talk about being where customers are, it means to us that we reach out to our customers on those platforms because that's where they are and that's where they are to be found. However, it also means, this is really interesting, in our own environment, we have full control over what we give out to our customers. We have full control over the branding experience. On the platforms of others, it's up to them to decide. So what we are saying, if we have a conversation on those platforms, it should be KLM or any other airline or any other company in that matter who needs to be able to own that conversation. And to make that a bit more specific, what does that really mean, owning the conversation? This is how we look at social media today. Social media to KLM is truly a new digital entry point. So we have our mobile app, great for frequent flyers, but as I mentioned before, not everyone is a frequent flyer. We have our website, wonderful to do everything what you need to do. And then we have social media as the third entry point. And what does this mean? Well, if I get there. Can someone from technology help me with the next slide? Because great. So what it means that we bring .com functionalities to social in a conversational way. So it means that you're able to make a booking, buy your seat with extra leg room, get your notifications about a delay or about which gate you need to be at, select your seat, get your boarding pass, all on social media, all on the platform of your choice. And what does this then specifically mean in how we interact with our users? Well, if you look at our app and our website, the conversations are through buttons and through web pages. On social and on messaging, it means that the control is through conversations. So it means that at any given time, you can ask any kind of question. For example, if you make a booking, that you can ask straight away, hey, can I bring my skis? Normally on the website, you would first make the booking, then would need to look up if you can indeed bring your skis. So it's a completely different way of offering your customers all your products and services. And we go from conversations to what we call a conversational interface. So we have offered these .com functionalities now on 4 platforms: Messenger, WeChat, Twitter, and WhatsApp. And as you look, and here's an example of a boarding pass on each platform. And as you can tell, each boarding pass looks a little bit different. So not every conversation on every platform is the same. We have to adjust to that specific platform. And I'm going to show you in more detail right now with a short video how it looks like on WhatsApp. So on our website, So we launched KLM on WhatsApp in September last year, and looking at all the services that we now offer on these platforms, it's actually really been a huge success. So in the first year, when we had KLM on Messenger alone, we already got in more than 2 million unique users. And today, we see that 40% of the online boarding passes are sent via one of the social channels, 15% of the online booking confirmations, and 60% of our customers who check in on klm.com choose to get their flight and airport updates on one of our social channels. So to us, it means that we've really made social as our third digital entry point. And here's why we believe this works so well. Well, first of all, it's the platform of the choice of the customer. So we are where our customers are. Everything is in one thread. So you have everything at one place at the right time. We aim to give the best personal service wherever you are, with one of the large servicing operations dedicated to social media alone around the globe. And it's truly a relationship by choice. So the customer chooses to receive these messages. So no pre-checked checkboxes and an email where you think, hey, did I sign up for this? No, you choose to receive those messages. So you actively gave consent to this. And here's the nice thing. Well, you're right between your friends. And what we see happening now, and a couple of the comments are in Dutch, so I'm going to translate them from you. These are comments that we got from customers after they received a boarding pass or an automated message from us. So they're going to chat back to us as if we are friends. So here we send out this boarding pass, and someone commented, oh my God, I already have to leave at 4 o'clock from home. Or, thanks, dude. Or, oops, sorry, I just responded to the wrong message. Or, yeah, everything's going really smooth. I'm already at the toilet past security. So customers are starting to interact with us as if we are friends. And of course, that's what we would really love to happen. But to us, adding all this and having this focus is just a start. So if we're really serious about being where customers are, about conversations, about new interfaces, they're only just getting started, because, well, there's so much that we need to do. Well, if we look at this volume, so this massive shift to private conversations, that's actually been triggered by adding all these functionalities that I've just shown you. So just to give you a couple more details on this graph. So here you see a first peak. That's when we started to offer the private message button on our Facebook page. So that's when we actually activated that you could chat with us privately. Then you see a second peak going upwards. That's when we started to offer flight info on Messenger. And then the third one, flight info on WhatsApp. At the same time, customer expectations are becoming higher and higher every day, because you're on messaging, so you expect a similar interaction as with your friends. So these are the comments that we get in today in our service center. Hey KLM, I've been waiting for 20 minutes, what's up? Until very recently, we were really proud that we could announce that we would respond within 1 hour. And we would say that in every message on board of our aircraft. KLM's here to help, we respond within 1 hour, and we solve your problem within 24 hours. But 1 hour is no longer enough. We really have to bring that down tremendously, and it's really up to us to do that. And then the big question is, how do we do that in a sustainable way? Because with the growth that I've just shown you, we can't just keep on adding extra FTE. And of course, there is some decline in the calls that we get in our call center. There's definitely a shift from calls to messaging, but also some volume is just additional because it's so easy to contact you. So the big question that we need to answer, how do we deal with ever-growing volume and ever-growing expectations? And what we see is that technology is really no longer the problem here, but it's really the enabler to deliver this to our customers. However, the big question is, and that's where we need to strike a balance, how can technology offer authenticity, a personal feel, and above all this warmth that we as KLM really want to give? Well, we have two solutions in place today where we use artificial intelligence, and specifically natural language understanding. The first one is a solution that we worked on together with a startup called Digital Genius. And Digital Genius offers an algorithm that is integrated in our CRM system, Salesforce, to offer suggestions to our agents. So based on a historical model that's been trained on a large number of questions and answers and conversations that we had with our customers before, based on that model, the Digital Genius algorithm has been trained, and we give suggested answers to our agents. If the answer is right, the agent just clicks on send. We also pre-fill case details, so all the administration around the case doesn't need to be done by the agent anymore. Everything is being done automatically now. So this is a major time saver in our call center, in our service center operations. The second thing that we do is we build on top of a platform called Dialogflow, where we build bots, so automated conversations with our customers. And the first one we built is a booking bot on Messenger. And there we introduced Bibi. Bibi is short for Bluebot, and she's really an extension of our servicing family. And she's a self-learning system that is able to address multiple questions and answers from our customers. We start with a small case, making a booking, and that's the first thing she can do now. And let's have a look at what she's able to do.
I have some exciting news today. We have a new colleague. Let's welcome Phoebe.
It's always the hardest. She's not there. She's very much on her own. But we found out very, very quickly that she can be incredibly helpful. Are you excited about the game next week against Barcelona?
Yeah. The flight is Wednesday after past.
The first time was just a bit odd. Oh, no, nothing bad. She's just very special. Hi, Bibi. It's great to have you here.
My name is Phoebe, and I can help you book a ticket.
Thanks. She's not afraid to ask questions when she doesn't understand.
Tell me, where do you see yourself in 1 year's time, Bibi? I can see flights within 11 months and 29 days.
I mean, it's great to have her here. Absolutely. But what she does all day.
So we really combine different types of solutions and different technologies to be really fast and to give customers this personal feel. And here are a couple of examples of how this combination of technologies and approaches would work out in the conversation. So all the way up, there's a question that we get in if we have a large disruption, for example, due to bad weather, and we had to cancel, unfortunately, a lot of flights. Then we get the same question from many of our customers. Hey, I've been trying to contact you, can't get through, can you please help me? And then the answer we always have to give is, sure, send us your PNR or your booking confirmation. That is something you can automate straight away, which is what we do with the AI solution in our CRM system. The second example, hey KLM, I'd like to book a ticket. Also, this we can fully automate, and there we use Bibi in the KLM thread. And then the last one, where you really want to have a human answer because you can give this personal touch that a machine never can do. Hey KLM, can you please put my love and me next to each other? You're seated together at row 34. Enjoy your Valentine's trip. And that last bit is something that a robot would never be able to pick up on, at least not yet. So the big question then is, what about the entire customer journey? So looking into the future, who will we trust when arranging your travel needs? Knowing that travel goes beyond just booking your flight or your hotel or your activities. Would it be KLM? Would it be another airline? Would it be Google, Facebook, another startup, a hotel chain? Well, when you look at airlines, the customer journey offers a lot of opportunities to us. We are involved when you start dreaming, when you start exploring possible destinations, when you start actually planning and looking up schedules and prices, when you make the booking, and when you have the actual experience. So what we're doing today is we are bringing relevant partners to our conversation that are relevant throughout the entire travel journey. So to make travel much easier for our customers. So we started off with, hey, here's your boarding pass, etc. And this gives us the opportunity to offer tailor-made services to our customers. So what we have done today is, together with some of our partners, among them Booking.com, Cartraller, and Get Your Guide, we offer services in the KLM thread on Messenger. So if it's relevant for you to want to book a car with Cartraller, we will alert you to it, and you can book that very easily within the KLM thread. So that means that we have now started offering auxiliaries in a conversational interface. And that's a very interesting area to explore, because here you can really start working towards an extremely personal service. So that's where the question arises, how do we keep this conversation going? And we believe that there always should be a continuous search for a better way. So we started by adding KLM functionalities in a conversational way. We started by adding relevant partners, and then let's just find balance. Because if you look a bit critically at this flow, you would say, hey, but you're just pushing advertisements of your partners. Well, that's where really, again, this personalization comes in. There's this fine balance between knowing when we are harassing and knowing when we are helping people. And to us, that is always looking at that balance. To us, that is a human approach on digital. And that's how we bring back the personal into a very technology-oriented world. And ultimately, what we want to work towards is what we call concierge service thinking, offering the best possible assistance to all our customers. And we know that a true perfect conversation is always imperfect. So you will never have it perfectly right, but you always need to make the effort to keep everything going. And that's really up to us. And it's really up to us to explore. So in summary, what I talked to you about today, first of all, what KLM aims to do is we want to be where our customers are. Social is next to the web and the app, our third digital entry point. The conversation and owning the conversation becomes vital to be found as a brand. We have added more platforms to be able to have that conversation. And the big question that we have asked ourselves, do we now have a model where we have humans supported by technology, or the other way around, where we have technology supported by humans?
So hope today's video was having a lot of modern digital technologies, social media application in aviation industries. And the video I shared is a well-known this KLM company in aviation sector, which is providing various solutions to aviation industry in respect of maximizing communication connectivity with the customers, with passengers, through use of latest technology of artificial intelligence tools, social media tools. So since you are the younger generation, are prone to use modern tools and techniques and gadgets, so these types of this aviation is considered very advanced in respect of use of digital technologies, use of social media in their marketing, in their customer care. So everywhere use of social media with latest all artificial intelligence tools are using in social media to maximize the communication, to connect the to the passenger, to the customer, getting their feedback, conveying their company programs. So all such latest tools and solutions are available in the market, and you are the younger generation and like to join in future in any aviation sector of any verticals of aviation industry, then knowledge of such application in a practical application in aviation industry, through this video you might have come across how so important the knowledge is, so important for the aviation student. So therefore I have shared this video with you, and whatever the theory portion I today we in 4-5 series of lectures we have studied in maximizing communication in aviation industry. Today you could have seen the practical application, what are the latest technologies are coming in aviation in order to connect with the customer, in order to connect with the passenger, to get to promote your company policy, airlines policy, products, services, as well as getting their feedback about their customer service experience, and in order to improve our product and services by the airlines, by the airports. So these are all practical application part, use of technology, digital technology, use of social media, that practical aspects in one of the presentation by the KLM, one of the software company, in association with the software company, use of social media tools, use of artificial intelligence tools. So that I shared with you. Hope this last concluding video in the unit number 3 for maximizing communication for aviation customer service will be very, very important to you for your academic knowledge, for your future endeavor. With these words, I am ending this session. Thank you very much to join me today. Have a good day.